There's a reason these guys and gals aren't on the covers of their games.
Well, I have no idea.
Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 ugliest video game characters.
Need a toe there, friend?
Yeah, I don't need no toe.
For this list, we're focusing specifically on video games, and all characters within the existence of that game are eligible, whether they're a main protagonist or just a random ugly dude.
Get away from my phone!
Number 10, Queen's Slug-for-a-Butt, Earthworm Jim. When a supersuit drops from the sky, nothing can stop the protagonist of Earthworm Jim in his quest to meet Princess What's-Her-Name. Well, except the twin sister known simply as the evil queen pulsating, bloated, festering, sweaty, pus-filled, malformed Slug-for-a-Butt. A name which effectively sums up the final boss in the final level of Buttville.
Not the queen! Ow! Thorn!
She never fails to impress gamers with her Kefka-esque performance, which is a nice way of describing the collective juices that ooze from her slimy physique. As fate would have it, her defeat only reveals a cruel joke, as the more alluring twin finds herself annihilated by a hefty rocket cow. Number 9, Falby, The Legend of Zelda, Twilight Princess. When Link arrives on the shores of Lake Hylia, he can earn a few rupees by cannonballing up to Falby's Flight by Owl, owned by a rather eccentric character. To be fair, Falby is a former circus preventer, which explains his unique style, but it's the crazy-eyed appearance that lends us to believe that he might be having a little too much fun in the wee hours of the night. Despite a frail upper body, this guy has a rather plump lower half, while his facial hair game could aptly be described as both disturbing and offensive. Number 8, Rufus, Street Fighter 4.
The best fighter in America, and not to mention the best looking, is yours truly, Rufus!
Originally designed as a slender African-American fellow, his final redesign ended up bearing more of a resemblance to Chris Farley from the 1997 film Beverly Hills Ninja. His massive rolls of fat jiggle gently like rolling waves, which makes you question what kind of a diet this guy's on.
That's it! Every time, man! Every time!
He rocks a special kind of ponytail, but surprisingly, it's not as distracting as his double Z-sized man breasts that barely fit into his vast selection of ill-fitting V-neck leotards. But holy hell, can this guy land a roundhouse.
Oh, man!
Unfortunately, his round physique, complete with jiggle physics, always make a defeat even more devastating for gamers. He also likes to talk. A lot.
I'm number one around here. But I got too much class to brag like that, though. It's you.
Number 7, Harold, Fallout series.
Can you help a poor mutant down on his luck?
He's known by a variety of names, such as the Talking Tree, the Lord, and the one who gives, grows, and guides. But to us, Harold is the one who is ugly.
More skin. Need more skin.
Based on his voice alone, one may be inclined to believe that he's a grizzled old war veteran with amazing stories, and that technically is true, but it's hard to ignore that tree that's growing out of his dome.
You cut with the dull edge of the knife, don't you?
Although, having a tree on your head is nowhere near as bad as being a tree, as Harold can definitely attest to.
Would you please kill me?
Number 6, Darlene Fletcher, Dead Rising 3. Living in 2021 California, Nick Ramos must not only survive a zombie outbreak, but also survive the human embodiment of gluttony.
Get away from my food!
That's right, Darlene Fletcher is the fat bastard of video games, and she's coming at you with a wicked sense of humor and a delicious chicken leg.
I'm hungry.
One might not be able to smell her wet flatulence and projectile vomit, but this big mama will leave a lasting imprint on your psyche while haunting your dreams, because she does not give a rat's ass about common decency or even the ethics of a buffet line. Number 5, The Spitter, Left 4 Dead 2. Well, hey there fellas, here's a busty brunette with a love for pink thongs and a real gift for gap. Okay, well, maybe her entire mouth actually spits out balls of stomach acid and she can't necessarily hold a conversation, but one thing's for certain, the spitter don't quit until she can't spit anymore.
That is the scariest thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
Her appearance alone instills anxiety in gamers, and even when the spitter is defeated, she still leaves behind a puddle of ooze to guarantee a lasting impression. The boomer might not be easy on the eyes either, but the spitter has looks that are definitely even harder to swallow. Number 4. Gruntilda Winky Bunyan, Banjo-Kazooie series. Since her overall goal is to steal your sister's beauty to make herself less ugly, it should come as no surprise that Gruntilda makes this list. Like the aforementioned Darlene Fletcher, Grunty doesn't care much about social pleasantries, as she's been known to dig deep for boogers and then drop a rhyme when she's done. Yes, Gruntilda is revolting, but it's the way she carries herself and the lack of self-awareness that make her such a hideous creature. In other words, she's annoying as hell, and that green skin doesn't help either, not to mention her lack of teeth. Number 3. Uma, The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt.
Quit playing around. Let's go.
Well, we know what you're thinking, my precious. With the looks of Gollum and the charisma of Sloth from the Goonies, this cursed being is undoubtedly the ugliest of all ugly babies. Truth be told, Uma comes in handy during the trip to Kaer Morhen, but for crying out loud, this thing is not the ideal travel companion.
What do you want?
The Emperor's displeased with you.
Without spoiling too much, Uma apparently wasn't always so ugly, and there may be some hope for him or her yet, but they sure don't call him the ugliest man alive for nothing.
I'd hoped I would never have to watch this again.
Number 2. Baraka, Mortal Kombat series. Well, perhaps you're familiar with this vagabond mutant, as it's difficult not to notice the ginormous blades protruding from his forearms. Originally appearing in Mortal Kombat 2, Baraka displays a toothy grin, but his busted up face doesn't make him the most photogenic of characters, much like his pal Melina, who sports a healthy physique despite her own set of gnarly teeth.
Baraka wins.
Above all, it's Baraka's troubling skin that detracts from his physical appearance. Well, actually no, it's the teeth. It's definitely the teeth. Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions.
Get out of my
The stalls are now opening!
Number 1. Lehren, aka the Broodmother, Dragon Age Origins. In 2009, Electronic Arts introduced gamers to the well-endowed darkspawn known as Lehren. Let's say this, Lehren gives new meaning to the terms side boob and nip slip, while her flailing arms don't exactly make her the most huggable character either. All in all, it's clear the Broodmother has a bad attitude, and who really knows what's going on down there. In a gaming world fueled by perpetual mind boners, there's no other boner killer quite like Broodmother. So, do you agree with our selections? Who do you think is the ugliest video game character? For more mind-blowing top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.
It gets me every time.